So as I talked about in the segment earlier today, Donald Trump has, of course, backed down temporarily on his tariffs against Canada and Mexico. Those are suspended for 30 days-ish, depending on how long he wants to do it. Maybe longer, maybe shorter. Honest to God, nobody knows at this point. But, again, as I mentioned, Trump got rolled. He got these countries to agree to do the things they were already doing. So he didn't actually get anything from it. And the question is Donald Trump genuinely that stupid, or was he trying to save face? Because there is a great argument to be made that he knew these countries were already doing these things. Somebody around him had to have told him. But he repealed the tariffs again temporarily because he finally understood how horrible it was going to be for the country. Now, there's some evidence to back this up. First and foremost, his post from social media, when the tariffs were announced, where he said, "Will there be some pain? Yes, maybe, and maybe not. But we will make America great again, and it will all be worth the price that must be paid." Well, you see, that post didn't sit well with anybody, regardless of political ideology. So right there, Trump messed up, saying like, "Hey, I know I campaigned on lowering your prices, but instead I'm going to raise them, but it's totally worth it, and you'll thank me later." And the public was like, no, we're absolutely not going to do that. So that was the first piece of evidence to suggest Trump was trying to save face. The second one, of course, well, multiple seconds, I guess, ABC. We have multiple polls that have come out that show us that a majority of Americans do not want these tariffs at all, especially once they learn that they're the ones who pay them and they increase the prices. Here is what Washington Post senior political reporter Aaron Blake reported. There was a recent YouGov survey showing 29% of Americans wanted tariffs increase, but the pollster followed up by asking those who supported higher tariffs whether they still wanted them, even if that leads to higher prices for American consumers, and only about half of those who said they wanted increased tariffs, 52%, stood by that position. So 29% had said, hell yeah, higher tariffs. Then when they were told, well, you pay that, half of them said, oh, well, I don't want that anymore. So you're going down from 29 to about 15% of Americans say, hell yeah, raise my prices. 15%. That's not exactly a vote of confidence. And Donald Trump understands that even though he doesn't have to run again, all those Republicans in the House and Senate do, unless they retire. But either way, that creates problems for years to come for Republicans. And not that Trump cares about them, but what he does care about is making sure he has his rubber stamp Congress, his rubber stamp Senate. And if he screws them over by raising prices on the people who put them in power, they're going to lose in 2026, and Donald Trump's going to have a very rough last 2 years in office. A Reuters Ipsos poll showed that just 9% of Americans strongly supported increasing tariffs if prices rose. And then Aaron Blake continued, in other words, this is something that not many Americans appear to be clamoring for nearly as much as Trump. And it's also something that could catch them off guard in a way that's very personal to them, especially given Trump's sales pitch treated the tariffs as a win-win with virtually no downside. Now we find out just how much pain his supporters are willing to tolerate. What Trump is doing with these tariffs, again, even with them suspended, because it's only a temporary suspension, they're coming back. And even if those tariffs on Canada and Mexico do not come back, later this month, they're already preparing to roll out the tariffs against Europe. The tariffs against China, those 10%, those are still in place. Prices are still going to go up because of his tariffs. And I think a lot of other countries are going to start calling his bluff as well, because there is no reason to slap any of them on Europe. Like, what concessions is he going to get from them? But all of this pain that people will feel that Trump is promising you is coming, it's on him. But voters can't hold him accountable again. What they can do is hold the rest of the Republican Party accountable. And that is going to bite them in the behind so hard in 2026 if all of these tariffs go into effect. If they don't, maybe Trump and the Republicans get a bit of a reprieve. But a lot of the damage was already done on Monday when that stock market went down, 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 down. People's 401ks lost a lot of money. A lot of people lost a lot of money. And sure, stocks rebounded a bit on Tuesday, but not to where they were. And how long is the rebound going to last? 2 weeks until we get the European tariffs? A week until the Chinese tariffs really go into effect and start hurting us? 30 days when he reimposes the tariffs on Canada and Mexico if he realizes he got played? We don't know. But this relief is just temporary, and it's not even that much of a relief. And all of this, through Trump's own actions, will hopefully screw over Republicans for years to come. Thanks for watching today, everybody. And don't forget, if you're not already, please do subscribe to this channel. We have fresh content going up every single day, and I would really hate for you to miss out on that. And speaking of missing out, if you're not following me across all other social media outlets, then get on it. You can follow the links in the description of this video.